So, this is going to be an install guide for Versus System Remix. By extension, this is going to be an install guide for traditional Versus System through the Octgn Octagon virtual desktop application. So let's just get right into it. I apologize if you saw a different video earlier. I've been struggling with my recording quality, and I only just now found a cleaner way to show everything. So, for everybody that watched the most recent event and the finals, I had no way to know that my uploaded video would show up as bad as it did. I haven't checked the stream yet either. I don't know if that was at a lower quality. For whatever reason, I was defaulted to like 380p, which is like garbage. Dog water, even. Alright. So, you want Octgn. What are we going to do? First off, you're going to see a link in this video, and it's going to take you to Home Sweet Home, the Versus System Discord channel. We've got a buttload of stuff here, all generously sorted as you see fit. Information is going to have our event announcements, and you can kind of peruse all that later. Different hangouts, different community groups, whatever. We got our game rooms for being on comms while you're doing your games and stuff. But the only part we're really concerning ourselves with is going to be the Octgn remix setup. Bango. There is another setup very similar to this on Facebook. So there's the old video that I'm about to replace with this video, but that doesn't really matter to me. So, under featured, right there, you're going to see all of the pin posts, all of the goodness. And this is the default installation guide. I haven't updated any of the stuff, but the folders, all of it is still relevant. In fact, I could even use this for the purposes of this video if you like. So first off, we want to find Octgn. This is a direct link. You will immediately begin downloading off this link. Perfect. Once it's downloaded, yes, it is not a virus. I promise to you it's not. You're just going to accept through the terms of the agreement. I'm not going to full install because I've already got it. But when you do your setup and you're choosing your location, don't choose the default. I believe the default is going to put it in program files somewhere. I stick it in documents. If you even want to make a folder called Octgn or Versus System or Remix or whatever, card desktop, anything not in program files will be much, much easier to troubleshoot if for some reason something goes sideways, or you have a weird error message and you want me to help you troubleshoot it. It's a lot easier without that. So we're just going to leave that for now. So we're going to assume you've got it all set up, you've got it installed, and you're feeling really good about yourself. Life is good. We're going to fire up Octgn. For you, this will be the first time setup, so it might take a little bit of time. For me, it's going to take a little bit of time, mostly because I run a lot of games on this thing. So the first thing you're going to want to do at this point is we're going to sign up. You don't get to play online if you don't sign up. So you're going to be asked to submit an email, confirm the email. You don't get any spam. It's not a big deal. Then once you've got that in, the reason you wanted to do that is because now you can play or spectate games, and you can't really spectate if you don't have a user ID. So, we want to install things. Let's go to Games Manager. Eventually it'll get there. All we're going to do, because we don't have any kind of official Octgn support, like yes, you see it here, but again, I already have it installed. What you're going to do is you're going to add your game feed. Name it whatever you want. I just named it the obvious, Versus System for traditional Versus System, or Versus Remix for Versus Remix. It's only relevant to you. You could name it Purple Spaghetti Monster. It's going to be just fine. It's still going to fire up whatever we put in the feed. So what are we going to put in the feed? Well, both sites, Facebook and otherwise, this is what we're going to put in. We're going to copy paste it. We do not need to click it or anything. That's all we want. We can minimize that again, and you're just going to drop it in the feed path. So what are we going to call it? Remix. There's the feed URL. You do not need username and password, even though you just set it up. We don't need it. You don't need a special login to run this. And then you're just going to click add, and it's going to put the game on. Again, I already have it, so I'm going to skip that part personally. Once the game is in, you should see it show up here on your all section, or you'll see it eventually down here. And when you do find it, all you're going to do, see, I'm pressing remix, I already have it installed. You're going to see an install button instead of an uninstall button, so you're going to install that way. As we release new content, it's going to auto update. You're not going to have to do anything. Once you've got it, you've got it. The only thing you will have to do is update your image packs. So let's talk about image packs. Once the game is in, opening your deck editor, you will, if you have more than one game installed, it's going to take you to a blank deck editor and you have to choose the game that you want. But if you only have one game installed, for example Remix, it's going to take you straight into Remix. Before you put your image files, you're going to see a wonky card with text only going on about what the cards do. I already have my image pack, but it's not a big deal. For the image pack, we're just going to go get our image pack from this Google Drive that I host for everybody. You're going to download it. I feel like I've downloaded this a bunch of times while recording different versions of this video. All good, not a big deal. Is it safe? I promise. Oh, my little girl, it's safe. Go get it. Get that sweet, sweet Versus Nectar. So you're going to download it. I changed the name of it to reflect the most recent update. So we just released Power Rangers. So that's the name of this image file in particular. Once you've got it, save it somewhere you know you can find it. I just saved mine, right over here from the last time I did it. And then we're going to go back to, let's minimize that. We're going to go back over here. We're going to highlight our relevant game, make sure the right one is selected, and we're just, while that's selected, we're going to click the Add Image Pack button. And then we're just going to peruse for what we downloaded. If you're good about knowing where your stuff goes, you would find it in downloads. Bam, Power Rangers Release 1. If you moved it somewhere like your desktop, like I did on one of them, boom, Power Rangers Release 1. All right there. Once that's done, you're just going to open the file. It's going to give you a little install Fiesta here. And then you should get a confirmation message. Perfect. Yay, Power Rangers Release 1 has been installed. Oh my god, we're so good at this. Now, a good opportunity for you to just check your files. So we'll go to Deck. If it automatically loads into Remix, it means that's the only game you've installed, and you should see bold, beautiful, delicious, full art cards that, and I mean, you can mess with this interface. It's really great. And then you also have in front of you one of the best deck building engines that you have. Regardless of the game you play, you can set the parameters for your search based on any number of things. So with Versus, we've got, name, the sets. I've got all the sets sorted according to the release. Each set is treated as a kind of essential collection. If you're not familiar with Remix, this means a couple things. One, you're going to see things like JLA that you know and recognize. Oh my god, Aquaman. Like, I know all these cards. Yay. So some of them is just, hey, legacy reprints, looking pretty, fun times. There's usually some kind of catch-all that perhaps doesn't reflect, hence the remixing. A good example of this is, let's take a look at Syndicate. This is not your mama's Syndicate. Alright, we made a couple changes. Yes, you are not dreaming. This is a substitute themed team after we kind of re-envisioned some of this stuff a little bit. Lots of cool new things, new toys. There's a reason we do this separate from the original collection, because a lot of cards were revisited, but in the long run they just didn't survive the translation from its original version. Some cards did, some cards didn't. The good news is we're also in a position where we can revisit things that were broken. Exiles, for example. Um, they're actually a really well balanced essential kit. Lots of interesting fun. Not the broken shenanigans that has you losing the game on 3. We're also able to have some fun with alter ego options. We're all playing online. We're all having fun. So why would we not introduce alter egos as a viable alternate format? Lots of fun to be had here, guys. I really encourage you to just experiment and see where you land. Anybody who's got any questions, don't hesitate to ask in either the Discord or the Facebook group. Most of our online play is centered around Discord, if only because our group is so presently focused on sales and auctions and that sort of thing, which is perfectly fine. The community will do what the community will do. But if you want to focus a little more on play, this is going to be the right place to be. And I'm going to have the link right under the video. And if you've got that link, you've got access to the setup line. It's all written out right here just for you. It's the almost exact same setup if you just want to set up normal versus. That's just set up under Octgn setup default. The only difference between the two, other than where you're going to find some of this stuff, is the images for traditional verses is 2 files instead of 1. So you just do those same steps twice, once for each file. And if anybody has any questions, give me a shout out. If you want to take part in any of the events, right at the top of the screen, we always have the most recent upcoming events. There's 2 coming down the pipe between now and the end of June. So take a look at that. We've got traditional Versus System X-Men 60th Anniversary event. There's some pretty wonky rules there. Take a look at it if it interests you. And then our next remix will be a Bring Your Own 2 Cents variant, which is also got some pretty wonky shenanigans going on. So I think some people are going to have a lot of fun with it. Anyway, that's my time, guys. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you online.